Okay, so the next session we're going to have a discussion on emerging environmental economies. And first up we've got Frank Boland from NGRMG, and he's on Skype here. So if you want to have a yarn to Frank, you're going to have to head up there and sort of put your head in that computer screen up there so he can see you. But I might just kick straight over to Frank there now. Frank, thank you.
G'day guys, thanks for having me. Can everyone hear me all right?
Yep.
Brilliant. Now, I thought I'd just give a quick update on the Foresight project and then sort of outline our plan going forward. It is quite a fluid plan, but I'll sort of outline the drivers so that people can appreciate the journey we intend to take, and with the objective of building the wind farm out there. First up, just for those that aren't familiar, I'll just quickly refresh you on this sort of the project specifics. So the project's permitted by the Etheridge Site Council for 75 megawatts, which is up to 35 wind turbines, most likely going to be around 30 turbines. The project's located up on the Newcastle Range, which is, for those that don't know, about 15 kilometres east of Forsyth towards Inesley, and we'll be connecting into the Georgetown to Townsville 132 kV power line, which crosses the ridge there. So we'll build a new substation, and all the turbines will feed into that substation, and the power feeds the grid. Out there, the majority of the power will actually travel back through to Townsville, but it will service all of the load in the Gulf, which is about 9 megawatts. So everything west of the project will be serviced by the wind farm, and if the wind farm's not generating, it'll be from the grid. The project's located on two stations, Wirra and Ciron, and the project has an Indigenous land use agreement with the Yulman Group, and that's all been registered with the Native Title Tribunal, and the land agreements have also been in process with the state government as subleases. And it will be complementary to the existing grazing that's out there. Going forward, the next step for the project is pretty well shovel ready. The biggest thing that we need is revenue certainty. So in order to get revenue certainty, we need to find a customer for the power that we're going to be generating from this project. The logical customer out there is Ergon, but it doesn't have to be Ergon. It could be any other electricity retailer or major customer in the national grid. So AGL, Origin, Energy Australia, ERM, whoever it might be. So we'll keep marketing to those retailers to try and commit them to buying the power from the project. For a new wind farm, you really need them to commit to buying the power for around 10 years under a power purchase agreement. The reason that's difficult at the moment, despite our best efforts, is the federal government's political uncertainty around the renewable energy target. So this is the 20% by 2020 target. This is currently being reviewed, and it's been reviewed for the last 18 months. And basically we're in a stalemate between the two major political parties about finding a compromised position. And it's very trivial about what the difference is between their positions. So it's really come down to, rather than fact, it's really political bravado between both parties. Anyway, it's become quite a big issue, and today's a crunch day, because if the decision isn't finalised today, all the major loads that have obligations under the renewable energy target, such as aluminium smelters, zinc smelters, copper smelters, other large heavy emission industries, they'll have to pay their full obligation, which is based on the 41,000 gigawatt hour target. The target's looking to be reduced to mid to low 30s. So even though it's been looked to be reduced, these few hours whether we can get an agreement out of the government. So we've been spending a lot of time on that. What this means is once we get revenue policy certainty, it gives the retailers such as Ergon, AGL, Origin, the confidence to sort of commit to those long-term contracts. At the moment, they don't have that. So that's where we're at. Once we get that and we're able to contract with one of those retailers, everything else will really fall into place. And that's when we ramp up all the nitty-gritty construction design, such as foundation design, where we're going to procure the gravel from, where we're going to procure the road-based material, water, things like that. So we've got indicative ideas, and we've worked with council a bit to sort of figure that out. But being a remote project, that is one of the big obstacles, is finding materials for the project. But we don't really want to, start sourcing those or getting people's hopes up before we know we've got a real project and a construction timeline. So that is in the pipeline, and we'll commence to sort of liaise with the golf community in where best to procure those materials from, hopefully in the coming months. So that's really where we're at. It sort of sounds a bit gloomy in terms of the political front, but once that stalemate has been resolved, the industry, the renewable energy industry, has a big, ambitious job to meet the 2020 build-out. And to give you an idea, it's going to require, even with the compromise position, it's going to require about 8 to 10 foresight wind farms to be built each year in order to meet the target. So, we think the prospects for this wind farm are really great. It is probably one of the only permitted utility-scale wind farms in the whole of Queensland. Queensland's the only state where there's been load growth. So there's a lot of things, and they currently have the highest wholesale electricity prices. So there's a lot of things that work in the favour for our project, and with a bit of luck, we'll hopefully be starting construction or looking to start construction later this year. So that's a bit of a snapshot. And